Could this be true? I'm 59 years old, and I've never heard of anything like this before. Never. I knew there was a new Emma movie, but that was 5 years ago. Over the Memorial Day weekend, a trusted source reminded me that the movie was here. And what strange timing.
A new town.
Emma's great-grandson was already on his way here to Utah.
You've heard all the good speakers, now you're stuck with me.
Brother Joseph Frederick Smith is coming to southern Utah next week, starting on June the 7th, 2018. He won't get up here to the Salt Lake area until about Saturday the 9th. Joseph is the closest living descendant of Emma, coming down through Alexander Hale Smith, his grandfather. He has a controversial message for our branch of the Restoration, but so did Joseph F.'s grandfather, Alexander, and his brother Joseph III in the 1860s.
You will have Joseph and all of your children. Sweet boy, I love you. You must do what you think is right for you and your family.
Somebody told me one time that you got to read between the lines to understand something. I said, well, I've been reading between the lines. I can't see anything in there but empty space.
The living Joseph F. Smith said he touched and held the real golden plates that his great-grandfather translated. Why? He testifies for a preface of the sealed portion of the plates to be translated by a man in Brazil named Mauricio Berger. Those of us who've watched this sort of thing before have seen it all before. Who can forget some of those that have already come out with the sealed portion of the plates? This time, though, it's different. For one thing, there are 8 honorable men who are living who said they went and saw and touched and felt those plates, in addition to 3 more men in Brazil who said they saw the plates and the angel Moroni who brought them to Mauricio Berger. This could be the greatest hoax of our age or the greatest desire of our heart in the coming of Zion with those sealed plates.
One of the chores that was given to both Bob Moore and myself as we left the first time when we left Brazil was that we were to select 6 more witnesses. And Bob said to me that you're the chief witness, so you select some. And I said, well, I'll select 3 and you select. Well, he said, you just go ahead. Somebody told me one time you got to read between the lines to understand something. I said, well, I've been reading between the lines. I can't see anything in there but empty space. So I want to testify to you this afternoon, that I'm really proud of all these boys and these men that went down. We ended up with 3 older people and 2 older people and 4 younger people. And I'm proud of these young ones. They'd really done good. Some of them went down there with a little bit of skepticism. But once they got in where the plates were, that disappeared pretty fast. And I thought of myself when we first went down there and I first handled the plates. I thought of the joy I had knowing that my great-grandfather had turned those same pages. But that dwindled away a little bit because I got to thinking about the work that Mormon done in putting together some of these books and consolidating some of this information, and the work of Moroni, how he protected these things, and I begin to think how great it was to be there and to touch the work of God's hands. And I thought of the woman in the book of Matthew that had the issue for 18 years, who come up behind Christ and touched the hem of his garment. And I thought about that, because for many, many years, the Lord has been silent. His hand has not been seen. He has not taken a hand in the effort of bringing forth Zion. He's been quiet. And here I touch the evidence of his work today in my time. On the second visit down, it increased my faith. Yes, it did. An interesting thing is the room that when they showed the plates was very crowded. It's a very small room. There was a bed in there and some chests. And when Mauricio lifted that last plate that Brother Bob was talking about, you ought to have seen these guys. And I thought, I can't even get in there to see what's going on. So I had to sit back and wait till they got through, and finally when they got through, I got to see it. And then I seen why they were so excited. Brothers and sisters, I can testify to you today. You know, for many years, you were just reorganized to me. Yeah. But you've become brothers and sisters. I love you. And I bear this testimony. This work is the work of God. And he is going to accomplish his work with or without us. And it's up to us to be a part of it. For many years, I see they haven't blinked my light yet. They got once on Gary and twice on Sam. I get 3, don't I? No. For so many years, brothers and sisters, listen, for so many years, we've struggled. In 21 years ago, according to Ed Gersbach's computer that we figured out this morning, I received a message from the Lord. And the message was that I was to go to the Restoration Saints and to tell them that the Lord had opened a window of opportunity for them to lay aside their differences, find common ground, build up the kingdom of God. And for 23 years, I have maintained that same message. During that period of time, I had many wonderful meetings with many of you and have come to know a lot of you. But we have struggled through many years of darkness, through many years of contention, confusion, and division, to the point where the old ship of Zion is tattered and torn. And we struggle to see through the darkness that it surrounds us. But I ended the sermon the last Sunday with a little statement. I'm not a poet, but it was kind of like a poetry, I guess you could say. I don't know, it didn't rhyme very good, but anyway. I used to get up real early in the morning as a young boy growing up because I had chores to do before I went to school. And I would always notice that in the eastern sky, there would begin to be a little light show, and a little more, and a little more light. And as that light came up out of the eastern sky, it pushed back the darkness of the night until finally it heralded the arrival of Earth's sun. We don't think too much about that, but we see it many times. The work in Brazil is like that light that is rising up out of the east. It is going to push back that darkness that we have struggled for 185 years to overcome. That light is going to keep pushing back and pushing back and pushing back, and it's going to herald the coming of the Son of God. God bless.